Hey y'all, this is Kylie Lockhart, and I'm going to be the trainee for the training guide for fall protection, so follow along. Hello everyone, this is Kylie Lockhart in SATC 220, and this is my Module 4 presentation. I'm going to be doing a trainer's guide for fall protection and presenting you with everything you need to know for fall protection so that you can get your certification and go back out on the field knowing these safety precautions and take them into hand, because since 2018 there have been fatal falls to a lower level out of 1,008 construction deaths. So these deaths can be preventable, and that is my big idea in having y'all here for this trainer guide today, because I know that if I can help at least 10 of y'all to get the protection guide and learn the do's and don'ts of the fall protection, then y'all will be out on the field helping others. So my one word can go from you to, who knows, 30, 40 more people. And since falls are the leading cause of death in construction, I want to lower that in the next year so that there can be way more and just keep the workplace so much safer. Alright, so the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, which is called OSHA, the fall protection guide that I will be teaching all about today is the 1910.29A and B section, which is the 1 and 2 section. So one section says, ensure each fall protection system and falling object protection, other than personal fall protection systems, that this part requires meets the requirements in this section. The employer must ensure each personal fall protection system meets the requirements in subpart 1 of this part. And number 2 says, provide and install all fall protection systems and fall object protection this subpart requires, and comply with the other requirements in this subpart before any employee begins to work that necessitates fall or falling object protection. So the course content today is going to be a few objectives that I'm going to make sure y'all know the words and come familiar with them, and then I will lecture about all of them and make sure you know every single tiny little detail about everything to keep y'all safe, and then recap and do a little hands-on with the harness that you will be wearing. And then at the end you will have a quiz, and you have 2 attempts to take it. The first attempt, if you do not get a 90 or above, you do have the chance to take it again. But if you do not complete either of the tests with a 90 or above, you will have to take this course again. So I recommend that you try your best on the first quiz so you can get the best grade possible. And if that doesn't happen, I will see you again, and hopefully it wasn't my fault, but if it is, I need some feedback. So after you get the 90 on the quiz and get your certification, you will have a guide at the end that will tell me and give me feedback on my teaching, if you need more hands-on, if you need more help with more instructors in the room, if you need less groups, if you need help, anything that can help me to make my training guide better for you and for others. So the course objectives are the plan, provide, and train. So the plan part is going to be when we need to plan and tell everybody that who is on staff, who is going to be using the fall protection systems, that for the plan is for the harness. So you need to know about the harness, know everything about it, how to use it, what it looks like. You pretty much need to have your life in that harness's hands, because that's what you will be wearing the whole time to keep you safe while you are out there doing jobs that could be deathly, and I want to keep everyone safe as long as possible. And then the next one is provide. So I will provide y'all with the correct form, how to wear the harness, where to tighten it, make sure you're having the right straps and the right buckles, and I will have provided great ropes for you to make sure and be able to invest and see for yourself what harness you can use that is up to date, because I know that some of them can rust and that employers will have to give y'all perfect harnesses, because if I do not want one of y'all putting on a harness thinking that you're going to be safe and the harness was rusted, and that could have caused your death, or that could have been the reason that you fell or weren't saved 1 inch instead of having a perfect harness. So I'm going to teach y'all how to inspect the harness to make sure that is liable and able to be used. And then the last one, I'm going to train y'all. I'm going to train y'all on how to use the harness, where to walk, how far to stand, how long you need your rope, how short you need your rope, depending on the length and the height of how high up you are or how short of a height you may be. And so you may ask, why do I need to know this? Well, fall hazard, approved fall protection equipment must be worn beyond this point. That is what is mostly on every single oil rig or even plant system over this whole industry, because this is what is keeping our workers safe. And if you do not have one of these harnesses, your life could be taken, and you could have prevented it with this tiny little harness that you could have worn. And so the safety is our first priority no matter what. And then it also is required by OSHA to be wearing one of these harnesses if you're more than 6 feet in the air. No matter what, you may think it's not far off the ground, but you have to have one because it's required by OSHA. So first, I'm going to explain the plan. So this is the harness, and as I just said, you must have it on more than 6 feet above the ground at all times, no matter if you're just climbing up the top of a trunk or a truck, or if you're just looking for something. You have to have it on at all times, just for the safety of you and the liability that you hold on your contractors. So it must be tightened at all times. So I'm going to teach you in a few about how to tighten your harness to make sure that is on at all times, because if you do not tighten one little buckle, that could cost your life. And so provide is our next form, and it's going to be correct form. So in this picture right here, the man on the left does not have the correct form for his harness, even though he is wearing it. There has been many incidents where people have been wearing the harnesses and it is not fully tightened, and so they are just lazy and put it on and do not tighten it. But the guy to the right has it fully tightened and it is perfect for him, and he is wearing it correct. And every time you must have your harness inspected by 2 different people before you walk on any platform, before you can go anywhere. And the last one is going to be the train safety. So on this, this picture right here, it tells you how to inspect your full body harness. So inspecting your full body harness, you have to inspect all the labels. The labels should be intact and readable. And then you must inspect the hardware. So you have to look for the damaged, broken, missing, distorted buckles, or the D-rings. So you have the release tabs on the buckles must work freely and click when the buckle engages. And then to inspect the impact dictator. The impact dictator is a section of the webbing that is secured with a special stitch pattern. This is designed to release when the harness has been subjected to impact, loading from a fall. Prevent any future use by destroying or discarding the harness if the impact indicator is broken. So if you see that this is broken on any harness they are trying to get you to use to walk on a platform, you immediately know that you cannot put this harness on because it is already been detached, and that means someone has already used it and fell because it is already stripped. And if you put this on, it will not help you if you do fall. And then next you must inspect the webbing. So look for the frayed, cut, or broken fibers and stitches. The broken stitches may indicate that the harness has been subjected to a fall. So this is the exact same as the impact indicator. So if this is frayed or cut or broken, then do not put this on. And then also you must check the harness manufacturer's inspection recommendations to be sure that you are not missing anything. And then The harnesses must be inspected at least once a year. The harness should be inspected by a person other than the user. So that is when I said that you have to have more than one person check your harness before you walk onto a platform. And then to know this, you must be able to do all of this through memory. You do not need to have a piece of paper in front of you checking over it. You should know this by memory to ensure that you will not be falling, and just for your well-being and for the safety. And then so when we are training y'all, this is where you will take the test, and I will hand the test out. You will take the test, and if you get a 90 or above, you are passing the class and get a certification. And then you take the feedback quiz and give it back to me, just in case you think I missed something, or if I did not do good with my work or did not explain properly. Everyone learns in different ways. I know that I am a visual learner, so it just all depends on how you learn. But if you do not pass the test the first try, you do have another try, which is still 90% or better. And if not, you will have to come and retake the course, and I will see what didn't work for you and what did work for you, and we will get you back on the right track. So to review everything, what you need to know from this was to be able to tighten a harness and be able to know the safety requirements of fall protection. And just to make sure, the employer must provide harnesses for all workers above 6 feet off the ground, which they must meet the OSHA requirements. So they must be changed each year. They have to be perfect. They cannot be frayed, no damage, no rust. They must be OSHA accepted. And then your test will get you above 90%, will get you the certificate. And this is, I hope y'all learned something, and I hope you all know a little bit more about the trainer's guide for fall protection. And I hope that we can use this and lower the deaths, the falls, which are the leading death of the construction industry, even though that this may happen on the oil rigs and plants. And I just hope that y'all learned something, and thank you.
Thank y'all for following along, and I hope y'all use those tricks when you go back out on the field, and make sure you use those harnesses and stay safe.